Oh, that's great. Looks like we're in good shape. Got the images. Um, Typical paint program, Corel Draw or Photoshop. So I've got all the images that could go on the cow stress ball. We're gonna transfer them on the back here, so we can scoot over to the program and just see how it's going to look on the back of the cow. So it's a black background here. So we want to see how any one of these images, the moon, the cheese, the earth, the burgers, Ferrari. We want to see how the images are going to look on the back of the stress cow, because it's got a black background. If it had a white background, that's how the images would look, or could say yellow background. So I think we're in good shape. The black background looks just fine. So close that preview, and well, we can go to print. So I've got the paper here. Transfer paper. I'm just going to put it in the printer. Get it nice and positioned and prepared. I'm having to do this one-handed, but should manage. And okay, we're ready, and I'm just going to push print. So I'm going to get that printed up. Just move over to the back here. Wow. Wow. That's awesome. See the images here. Now you have to be careful not to touch the ink in any way, because it will smudge. It still comes fresh out of the printer. So what we have to do to kind of pre-prepare the ink and make it a bit more workable, because we're going to have to cut these out, is we're just going to fuse it. And you can use a hairdryer, or this is a heat gun that I have. You can get at any typical hardware store. And we're just going to fuse the ink that's on the paper. So, and notice the color changing with the ink. So I'm just going to get a little closer and just notice when I turn on the heat how the color changes. Slight color change. So all these guys are fused onto the paper. Just get this out of the way. And the paper is a bit more workable now. Now we still don't want to be touching the actual images, because the ink will smudge, but it's just that little bit more workable. So because I'm working with one hand here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the phone down, and I'm going to cut out the images that we can transfer onto the cow. So maybe I'll just cut out one of each image, and we've got an image of the moon here. We've got the cheese. We've got the earth. We've got the burger, Ferrari logo. We've got the cash, and we've got Spongebob here, and we've got the baby. So I'm going to cut out one of each, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've cut one of each of the images out from here. Now, if they were more uniform, you could probably get away with using one of those guillotine cutters, but I've just used the scissors to go around and cut each one out. So each of these guys are ready to use and transfer onto our stress ball. I'm just going to bring them over. Okay, so we've got our cow stress ball here. Let's get that out from under here. And we want to transfer any one of these images to the back of the stress ball. And so we've got everything ready. We've got the heat press, which is running at 230 degrees centigrade, so it's pretty hot right now. These images have been pre-fused onto the paper after they've been printed, so we had the heat gun go over them once, and we've got the silicon pad here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the silicon pad down onto the hot plate and make sure that's getting heated. And I'm going to grab one of these images. Let's take Spongebob. So you have to be extra careful when you're handling these images so that you don't put your finger over the image, because it would smudge it. And what we want to do, so we're waiting for this to actually heat up. Take that measurement. So we'll just keep that on there for a few more seconds. Make sure it's uniformly hot. And while that's heating up, you're going to take your image and you're going to flip it and then position it. So we're going to put it on the back of the cow like this. Right. So, and you don't want the paper to move in any way now, because it would smudge the image, but it's sitting now on top of the cow. And we're going to grab our silicon pad, and it should be suitably hot now, and we're going to lift it up and just sit it on top of where the image is on the other side of the paper, and rock it ever so slightly, because the surface of the stress ball is slightly curved. So I'm just not gonna apply too much pressure, but we're gonna let the heat transfer the image. There we go. Just rock it slightly. So now we're at giving it about a minute and a moment of truth. Take off the paper. And we have SpongeBob on the back of the cow.